So we had to look at their culture and figure out, why did the CEO have so many direct reports? Why did the CEO feel like he had to do so much work? Why did he have such controlling tendencies? Why did they have so many order takers? So we assessed the culture. We laid out a leadership development program. We coached the executives, and here's what happened. 30 million in 2010, 50 in 2011, 2012, 75 million. They're doubling their profit every year. Doubling or more, a little bit more. Their profit every year. So on 50 million last year, they did 12 million in net income all the way down. So I really believe in getting more from your people because you put more into them. Okay? And it does take some time and it does take some structure. All right? Untapped leaders. How many untapped leaders do you guys have in your company? Have you really cultivated your people to teach them how to be leaders, how to be focused, direct, accountable, influential? We'll get to sustainable in a second. And how are you showing them how to have more influence over outcomes? Okay? All right, sustainability, briefly, is really about win-win agreements. Sustainability is about avoiding burnout. If you're ever not sure if what you're creating in your life is sustainable, do the following thing. Write down 3 columns on a piece of paper. Write it down now, fill it in later. It's an energy allocation chart. I've been doing hospice volunteering for 12 years. When I'm not building businesses, I help people die. I help them die with a lot of peace and a lot of dignity, and ideally, no pain. And one thing I know for fact is that when you're out of energy, you're dead. So it's really important for us to look at where is our precious energy going. So please make 3 columns. You'll fill this out later. This is homework. This is where your energy, your precious life force is going. The first column is where you gain energy. So maybe like working out, time in nature, playing with your dog, whatever. Where do you gain energy? The next column is where do you lose energy? Where do you lose energy? That's the insidious, icky stuff that has to go, okay? Where do you lose energy? The third is the trickiest one. Mixed. What's mixed? So example. Maybe your father is a little challenging. Maybe 60% of the time when you visit your father, you get energy. So he's 60%. So he's in the mixed column, 60% gain, 40% lose. So a lot of clients say to us, well, I've got young kids. It's mixed, right? Half the time it's like, woohoo, totally fun. The other half is like, oh, God, just go to bed, please. I'm dying here, okay? So look at where you gain energy, where you lose it, and what's mixed. The mixed stuff, young kids, there's only so much you can control, bless you. There's only so much you can control with kids. You can get more babysitters, more date nights, et cetera. But the people and the activities in your mixed column are hardest on your brain because they are causing conflict. Have you ever had a friend where, like, after you hang out with them, you want to lie down? You're like, she knows you're exhausted. Yeah, it wears you out. Okay, what's that about, right? So sometimes you have to do like a friend breakup, This is where you want to use mommy on the friend breakup. You don't want to use Mother Ecker. It's me. It's the high school breakup. Oh, no, it's me. It's not you. Right. The best way to end a relationship, oh, no, you're fabulous. It's me. I'm a doofus. I'm going to miss out. I know I'll regret it later, but this is just what I have to do. Yeah. So we have to look at where we're losing huge gobs of energy, and we have to stem the tide there. We have to wrap that up, okay? All right, good. So speaking of wrapping it up, these tiers are cumulative. These tiers are cumulative. What's important is that the more focused we are, the more direct we can be, because we know what to be direct about. Make sense? The more direct we are, explicit in our communication, the more we can create accountability structures and communicate to our people what we need. The more accountable we are, the more influential we are in the outside world. Also, the more we realize that we need to take on these stances, we need to use these rapport tools to have more effect on the outside world. And then, of course, we need to be sustainable and not be burning people out left and right, so we can keep going. This is how we create profitable growth. We lay out our structures. We focus on what we are and aren't present to. We make sure that we're being really explicit. That's how we get passionate team members. They feel safer with us, right? We make sure that we're doing the high-impact work only. We're not doing the low-value activities. We all do a lot of low-value activities. I know you do. Have you ever written down kind of where your time goes each week? Yeah. The low-value activities, we have to ditch, delegate or defer those critters because they're probably sucking our energy or pulling us into the limbic system, or we're doing them and we're totally frustrated the whole time we're doing them. Again, energy draining. We need to spend as much time in our cortex as absolutely possible and get our people to be there too, okay? And then on influencing outcomes, rapport techniques, stances, and win-win, okay? So I want you guys to just kind of go back down memory lane from the whole, gosh, hour and 45 minutes ago, so long ago. When you look at what you learned today, tell me what stuck for you. Give me some takeaways. What stuck?
Explicit versus implicit.
Explicit versus implicit. Thank you. If you just change that one thing, you will be amazed at how much better performance you get from your people. And again, they're in their cortex. They're not going, am I going to mess up? Okay, they often don't want to ask us because we look so busy, right? Because we're a little bit too busy usually. Other takeaways. Thank you. Inquiry. And I know it's excruciating. It is in the beginning. And then you're like, why didn't I do this sooner? Thank you, God, because now my people are owning it. And I'm not giving them orders. Yeah.
Emotional equity versus financial.
Thank you. Emotional equity is so much more valuable than financial equity. One of our clients had to actually do a company-wide cut of 20%. That's a lot, you know? And if someone is making 30 grand a year, a 20% cut is a lot, you know? She did this 20% cut across her whole company. Everybody was totally okay with it. They were totally okay with it because they loved that company. They were charging for it with their needle movers. They were getting really appreciated. They had their career path. Thank God we did such a good job turning this company around that in 120 days, they got their salary back up, and then they managed actually to double the revenue that year and to have 4 months of profitability. But the people were okay with that temporary cut. We didn't pay them back either. You know, it was a cut. It wasn't, we're going to accrue this and pay you back later. It's, dude, we're in this together. This is what's happening. And I met with them all, and I sat down with them, and I saw them, and they were in. You know, they had pushed their chips across the table. It was Vegas. They were in. You know, it was gorgeous. Yeah, emotional equity is powerful. Yeah. Other takeaways. Thank you, sir.
Find 3 goals.
Top 3 goals. Only 3. Don't go nuts. You don't need 25. 3, you're going to actually hit them. Yeah.
As I said, the evolution that someone has to go through, the evolution that a team has to go through to achieve the next level.
Yes, the evolution that a team has to go through to achieve the next level. All those, here, let me show you that again. All of those thingy boppers, inflection points, at each of these, we need to be coaching our executives to get to the next level. We need to be teaching our emerging leaders about how to report, how to get executive presence. I can't tell you how many people don't get promoted because they don't have executive presence. You know, you don't just take an executive presence course and magically get it. You know, you have to learn that stuff while you're in the trenches and the grenades are flying. You know, so how are you coaching your people, getting an outside coach who hasn't gone native to help guide your people to the next level? Exactly. Yeah, cultivating your people, huge. Other takeaways.
Untapped leverage points.
Oh, thank you. Yes. When you look at your company, this is why it's so good for us to get rid of and jettison all of our low-value activities. And I think every leader needs to have reflection time at least once a month. And it doesn't mean like a day off, you know, with a you know, in front of a burning fire having deep visions. It can just be a few hours, you know, walking in nature, stepping back, looking at your company and saying, where can I move the needle? You know, like that home furnishings company. I've got these vibrant people. They're in this career path. All they do is customer service. That's who they are. That's their identity. How else could we expand that? How could we take customer service and just tweak it a little bit, you know? Yeah, and now it's very, very high margin revenue, and it's 10% extra every year. And they're crazy vibrant, creating more things. Yeah, good. Okay, thank you so much. Let's just do one more thing. Okay, so I'm sticking around. I am from California, as you guys know. I am here this afternoon, and I'm here for a smidge tomorrow. I have another event tonight. If any of you, after sitting through this session today and pondering, would like to have a one-on-one meeting with me, I have a few slots. Barbara, will you stand up for a sec? This is the fabulous Barbara Milo. Hi, Barbara. Barbara has a cool little grid, and if you want to meet one-on-one, just let Barbara know, and she will tell you kind of where. It's like at the Hilton or something, and she'll tell you where we're going to meet, okay, if you'd like to have a couple of minutes together, if that would be helpful. So either see Barbara at the back or hand her your card that says meet, but she will be calling you like immediately because they have a few today and a couple tomorrow morning. If you want our slides, please write PPT, right? And I'll send you the slides and the resources that I had offered, okay? In closing, I want you guys to think about what inflection point you are heading towards. What next level of revenue are you heading towards? How ready are your people? How ready are you? What are you doing to look at your business model, to tweak your business model? What strategic alliances do you need? Who do you need to influence most powerfully? What tools do you need to influence those people most powerfully? And then how can we close sales faster? Where's the opportunity? Quick thought on meta programs. As I mentioned, we went through pretty quickly. Look at your audience. Look at the audience of your marketing messages. Look at the people that you're selling to. Think about who they are. Okay? Think about who they are and how to talk to them. Forget your spiel entirely. Okay? What emotional experience do they need to have? You know? What experience do you want them to associate with your company and your brand? Once you get that emotional equity with them, they will be super loyal and they will be an amazing referral source as well. All we want to do is get people in their cortex. And often in a sales scenario and in a management scenario, people are in their mammalian brain in their limbic system. The tools I gave you today, please practice them. They will help you shift people into their cortex, and you will see the tremendous results. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Yay.